It is Tuesday, and Tuesday means two things. One, we've already cut off all the Monday blues, and two, Tuesday is Erongo Day. So today, I will be your host, Irene-Mari van Walt, and in today's episode of Erongo Talk, we will be bringing you all the Erongo news in this week's Erongo inside the Republican today, as well as a fascinating story of 3 orphan chameleons from Angela Curtis, a part owner of the Living Desert Snake Park in Swakopmund. Lastly, I will bring you your weather and tides, as well as where the big ones reeled in this week. In this week's Erongo, we have a story with Oma Magrita Hauses, who turned 104 recently. If you missed the interview with her yesterday, you're welcome to go pick up today's Republican and read all about it in the Erongo pages. Then we have a story about food assistance for differently abled persons. Old Mutual Namibia donated $20,000 worth of food to the Walvis Bay Child and Family Center, which houses an estimated 170 vulnerable people. The center was established in 1995 and caters to about 165 to 170 children, youth and adults with physical, intellectual and or psychological disabilities. Then we have Ondersteuning vir Enkelouers, which is a story that I wrote about 2 Swakopmund single parents, George Olivier, who is the father to a 3-month-old boy, and Bianca Dornia, who is the mother to a 6-month-old girl, who started a charity called the Better Life Project. And the Better Life Project will focus on single parents trying to care for their children. It was conveniently established in the time of the pandemic, but will not continue to operate after the pandemic ceases and after lockdown is finished. After we've gone through all the stages, they will continue to do it. George explains that the charity was started when he saw a post on social media. He is a chef, and he saw a post on social media asking for a cake for a little girl's birthday, and he decided to jump in and help out, seeing that he is unemployed currently. Bianca says that her friend George then approached her and asked her for help, and the rest, as they say, is history. The charity currently works very closely with Hands of Hope. Then we have something not so nice. The festivals in the region seem to be biting the dust one after the other, as the Oamaru Arts Festival was the first festival to decide to call it quits for this year and reschedule to next year. So Dankie Cornelissen, one of the organizers, explained that the festival brings in about $1 million to the town, but they decided not to have it this year as they would only have to have Namibian artists, and they just didn't want to give something half. So then your festivals might not be the only things that are cancelled. Your long weekend seems to be another victim, as the Torah Bay campsite announced that they won't be opening for the long weekend of the 16th to the 24th of May 2020 due to unforeseen circumstances. Their acting managing director has explained that he's very, very sorry for the decision, but that they absolutely cannot take any health risks. We're here with Angela Curtis, a part owner of the Living Desert Snake Park in Swakopmund. Hi Angela, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
So Angela, you found something quite odd in the desert. Could you tell us about it?
Well, it's a fascinating story, and it goes back 8 or 9 months. A concerned member of the public found this very, very sick, emaciated female chameleon and brought her into us. And then together with Chantal Bosch, who does a lot of chameleon rehabilitation, we looked here for her, but she died very shortly was brought in. Chantal Bosch then performed autopsy and found she had a huge infestation of roundworms, which probably killed her. We don't yet know the origin of the roundworms, and that she had a whole load of undeveloped eggs. So she removed the eggs, and they were put in vermiculite in a safe area to incubate, and surprisingly they started developing. And then last week we had 6 baby chameleons hatch out. It's quite a long process. It takes about 2 days, because they start hatching and then they stop and sleep. And then they'll start hatching again and then stop and sleep. So it takes quite a long process. But we have 6 baby chameleons taken out of the body of their dead mother 4 days after she'd already died.
Oh, wow, okay. And then tying into chameleons, you guys are having a raffle, I believe.
Yes, Chantal Bosch generously donated some of her amazing A0 prints of chameleons. So because the snake flock was severely affected by the lockdown and the lack of tourism, we are raffling them off. We have 3, and we're going to take a draw at the end of May, at the end of June, and at the end of July for each of the photographs.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
As is the habit in the Erongo this week, we bring you Grumpy's fishing report by Graham Gromowski, or Grumpy as he's known to the fishermen. And Grumpy says that the Atlantic showed us its phenomenal power, with some big and heavy swells prevailing the last week, making fishing a bit tougher than usual. He recommended a sinker that's heavier than 1 ounce to compensate for the sidewash, as well as thinner line. I don't know the science behind that. Thinner line has less drag and can also be tried out. So Blair and Canopy seem to be the places to be this past weekend, but mile 72 and mile 32 also produced fish all week, where Galjoen landed during the heavy sea, and Cobb made an appearance as the sea became calmer. Cobb was bigger than average with sardine as bait, and a few of them, most of them were pan-sized, but a few of them went as big as 15 kilograms. Smaller sharks were found close to mile 6 and mile 11, and palkies apparently produced some good-sized steenbrasses over this past week. Conditions for the weekend ahead. Grumpy said that we can expect heavier swells this weekend, with white mussel as a choice bait and galjoen as a target fish in the bigger seas. In your weather and tides for today, Henty's Bay saw low tide at 7:45 this morning and expects high tide at 14:06, 6 minutes past 2 again. Then at 47 minutes past 7 tonight, it will be low tide, and tomorrow morning at 2 o'clock on the dot, it will be high tide again. Sunrise was at 7:29, and sunset will be at 29 minutes past 6. Today is expected to have a maximum temperature of 32 degrees and a minimum temperature of 20 degrees. So you can probably tell it'll be quite sunny and warm in Henty's Bay today. Swakopmund saw low tide at 7:43 and high tide at 4 minutes past 2 this afternoon. Low tide is expected again at 7:45 tonight, and at exactly 2 o'clock tomorrow morning, Swakopmund will also experience high tide again. Sunrise was at 7:29, just like in Henty's Bay, and sunset is at 18:27, so that's 27 minutes past 6 tonight. The maximum temperatures will be 29 degrees with a minimum of 21 degrees, and also sunny and warm. Walvis Bay saw low tide at 7:43, so that's about 7:45 this morning. High tide is expected at 3 minutes past 2 this afternoon, with low tide again at 7:45 tonight, and just like Henty's Bay and Swakopmund, high tide at exactly 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. Maximum temperature is 31 and minimum temperature 22, so it'll be very, very warm, but apparently partial sunshine. Arandis has a maximum of 32 degrees and a minimum of 19 degrees Celsius. Usakos 30 degrees with a minimum of 15 degrees Celsius. Karibib maximum 28 degrees Celsius, minimum 12 degrees Celsius. Omaruru maximum 28 degrees Celsius with a minimum of 10 degrees Celsius. So that's all for today, unfortunately, but we bought you the beach as a parting gift. We all know we could all spend our entire day here, and I wish I could stay here, but I can't. I have to return. I have to ensure that there are new stories for you to read online at www.erongo.com.na. If you want to see a little bit more than the pages, you can go to www.erongo.com.na, and you can go check out the new content we have there every single day. If you want to stay updated, please follow our Facebook pages where we bring you the stories on a regular basis. You can follow our Twitter page, our Instagram page. You can also send us a text, send us a WhatsApp, send us a meme, send us anything funny. We're lekker mense. I promise you, we're lekker people behind that phone number. So you can send us anything you want at 0811 7040. That's 0811 7040. Until next time, stay safe, wash your hands, maintain social distancing, wear your mask, wear your gloves, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Keep on watching.